Alright, so now what I'm going to do today, no ham stuff, I'm doing something for mom and dad. It's a satellite preamp because they've got the dish like 130 feet away from the satellite receiver. And so they keep losing signal. So hopefully that will take care of it. We'll let you know how it goes. I'll show you what it is. I got it off Amazon for 20 bucks. It's this guy right here. And I guess it just gets the same power for the coax that I guess the LMBs get power from the receiver. So 20 dB inline amplifier. We're going to see what this thing does. This is going out to the receiver, and this goes up to the dish. This cord is about, they want you to put this closer to the dish, but this should be still better than nothing. This is about 20 feet from the dish. But that should still be better than what they got. I'm not going to climb up on the roof. We'll see how this guy does. I'm going to go back over their house and make sure it's working. So they were getting these channels, they weren't able to pick up for a while. CNN, stuff like that.
They jumped and broke up.
They were always digitizing because they couldn't get the signal. And so I put the amplifier in, and now it can load the channel. And so it can't, did it take a long time to sync up, or did it?
No, it came right up.
It just came right up? Alright, so I think that fixed their problem because they couldn't even get the stuff that's on the other satellite. So it just gets its power through the coax cable from the receiver, because the receiver sends it out for the LMBs anyway. And that's what powers it. So you just literally put it in line, takes like 5 seconds. None of these channels, Fox, CNN, none of the news channels that come on the other satellite, they couldn't even watch. So by putting the booster in line, now it's worked. But they had like 130 feet of wire that they were going through, and it was just too long. So 20 bucks well spent. Go to thejohnnyoshow.com/promotions if you want to buy that. I would appreciate it. There ain't a lot of things to write home about for Delta, Colorado. But this Needle Rock Brewery has some really good wings. I get the ghost wings they have, and they're not the hottest. They're really not. But they really have a really good flavor. So if you're happening to go through western Colorado and you happen to pass through Delta on Highway 92, check out the Needle Rock Brewery. You can also get a flight of 4 beers. Samples for like $6. They also have a gluten-free menu as well. Not anything I would particularly order, but they do have it, so just putting that out there. So here we are today in Paonia. So we just had some good ice cream. Where'd we go? Oli's Ice Cream Shop. This is a little downtown Paonia. Yeah, Rio Bravo. So that was a good little Mexican restaurant. If you're in Paonia, Colorado, check it out. And then we got this weird contraption across the street. Let's go check this out. So this was a plane apparently at some point in time that was turned into a camping trailer. Very interesting art. I think it was just going for art. So that's not something you see every day. And I pulled my camera off the gimbal. I didn't really feel like carrying it. I think I've made my decision. I'm going to go with the GH5, not the GH5S. I don't want to have to deal with carrying around a gimbal to have stable video. But that's another story. So I have 2 Bofang radios, just like this, and I've got the rubber ducky antenna, and I'm going to walk straight down the road here, and when the rubber duckies kick out, I'm going to switch over to these telescopic ones that I paid $35 a piece for, and he's going to as well. So first we're going to see how far we can go and actually hear each other. So we're on the 2-meter call frequency. I'm about 100 feet away. You got me still?
Yeah, coming in probably like a 10.
Okay, I'm at my old house. Can you still hear me?
Still a 10.
Just passing Huff's.
Yeah, 8.
Alright, I'm now getting to the driveway for the house that's just past Huff's that goes way back to several houses.
Actually, because you're probably going uphill, you just got clearer.
Roger. Okay, I'm at the top at 1740 Road where it crosses.
Okay, I can make out what you're saying.
You couldn't make out what I was saying? I'll go back a little.
Yeah, now you're good.
Alright, so that's kind of the range. Right here at the top, I want to go about 10 feet. Right at the top of 1740. That's the range with these short antennas, would you say?
Yeah, I can't believe that 10 feet made that much difference.
Let me try again because I hear you crystal clear. Let me keep walking. I'll go back up to where I was at and see if you lose me again. Do you got me?
I still have you. A lot of noise.
Can you hear me?
Actually, you're clear.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can still hear you.
I'm up at Wagner Way. You know that address that has the sign that says Wagner Way? Wagner Way. Do you know where I'm talking about?
Okay, tell me again where you're at.
You know the house on the right-hand side that has a road sign that says Wagner Way?
Okay, I didn't catch that, so you're too far.
Okay, so it looks like, can you hear me now? Do you got me now okay? How about now?
Yeah, that works.
All right, we'll call this the end of these antennas for practical use. So this is up by Wagner Way. Can you change to your other antenna? Let me know when you switched.
Okay, done.
All right, and you telescoped it all the way out?
Oh, yeah, it's much better. There's no static or nothing.
Okay, cool. I'll keep walking. So I'm at Wagner Way right now. That's pretty much where the other one pretty much stopped working for all practical purposes. You know where I'm talking about, right?
No, there's a church on the, as you're walking towards Peach Valley, okay, no, I don't know.
I'll try to figure out the address on the way back. Okay, now I'm going to keep going with this antenna. So I sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at 1715. I'm now at 1769. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still clear.
Just for kicks, you want to change back to the other antenna and test it?
Yeah, okay. And if not, well, if I don't hear nothing at all in like 3 minutes, I'll switch back.
Sounds like a plan. All right, do you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me well? You're really scratchy. I can barely make you out.
Okay, I'm gonna walk outside. Hang on. Does this help?
Very little, but that just changes the condition of the test, so you don't want to continue doing this from outside.
Fighting all around my house.
What?
Well, I could hear you just fine. Roll back.
Okay, I'm going to switch to the other antenna. So if both people are outside, this little antenna would work. I'm going to make note of where I'm at with the little antenna. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I've already put the big antenna on.
Yeah, I'm on the big antenna now too. I was just talking to the camera. Okay, so the little antenna outside could potentially make it to 1790. So we'll see what the distance is on that when I get back. But both have to be outside. But for the conditions of the test, to see how much the big antenna outperforms the little antenna and actually be usable, the little antenna was usable up to Wagner Way and then not really beyond that.
Not strong enough.
All right, thank you. So either this antenna doesn't like being shaked while you're walking, or I'm just getting tired and not hitting the button hard enough. But when I'm walking, he can't hear me. It cuts in and out.
Maybe that'll get easier over a period of time.
So these antennas seem to be actually a little flaky if you're walking. That kind of is concerning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I think we found our limit. Tell me if you lose me now.
Okay, that's it.
All right, so now if you want to do our outside test, we can see how far they work with you outside if you want to do that.
Outside?
Yeah. How about when I'm walking? Is it still clear?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no static, no nothing.
All right. So really that was the limit. When you're inside, that was as far as we could really go for practicality. Okay, so there's no point in me to continue walking. Where did you say you were again in Cedar Edge?
I'm up here at, well, just about, if you know where Main Street is, and a little bit north and east of that, and we're about just a little bit north and east of Main Street, and 65, we're about maybe about a few blocks east of 65.
Holy cow! That's pretty good for a handheld with a quarter wave whip, right? Okay, I got distracted, but I made it all the way to Carnation Drive. Then I got, as you heard, talking to another ham that is in Cedar Ridge. Now he is a little higher. I got some more information from him. He was running 10 watts. Now my Bofeng is the 8 watt actually. But I don't think I really need to go any further to say I think these antennas kick butt. Hey, I could have them test with that. Okay, so it's just that reason why I was cutting out when I was walking is you want to hold these things perfectly upright for the best. Otherwise they will cut out just because they're that sensitive. Apparently, as far as the polarity, doesn't take much for these long ones to really be noticed as you go further away. So definitely worth 35 bucks. So I'm gonna go back home and figure out how many miles we've calculated from where he's at. He's up by Main Street, he said, in Paonia. Now he was running 10 watts. He was running a half wave vertical on 10 watts off his tower. So he was high, but it wasn't a lot of wattage. It wasn't like he was a 50 watt repeater. A little 8 watt radio on 2 meters. Look at all the trees. This is the area I've been shooting signal through. This is the new iPhone 10. Personally, I don't believe in phones. I would use my iPad or my computer and not pay the phone bill. But my wife has been getting on my case because I refuse to have a real phone and she can never get a hold of me unless I had my iPad tethered to my computer or, you know, was paying attention to it, basically. So I finally got a real phone. As a gift to my wife, I bought myself a real phone. Anyway, I kind of wanted the Samsung, but honestly, I do kind of like the fact that because she has an Apple, I like the fact that I can see when the message was delivered and all that. And I don't really use the camera for filming or anything. I've never taken it seriously. I don't look at this as a serious video device. But I figured, well, I'll try it. And I noticed the iPhone 10 actually has 60 frames a second at 4K, which should help prevent getting jello. So I'm going to see how this does, because my camera is dead after walking up the hill, walking up the road there with doing that antenna test. So we'll have this footage and see if this gets added to my usable footage.
Anyhow, I have a bird bath over there, and this is the only plant that lived from Publishers Clearinghouse. I had a bunch of them, but that's the only one that lived.
Let's try that. All right, Mom. So show me what you got.
Okay, turn around and you'll see 2 little trees that I got from seeds in Deming.
Oh,
They're supposed to be trees. I don't know if they'll ever be that, but
the trees, little baby trees.
yeah.
And then you got a new hot tub.
And they got really pretty blossoms on them. Lavender. This is my rose that my neighbor helped me bring back to life by doctoring it up so it bloomed. And I just got all these little potted things. Instead of in the ground, it's easier to pop them. And I finally got this up, even though it's sort of crooked, at least it's up. You see my flowers in there.
Looks nice.
And I got this, and when the sun shines really bright, you can pull these shades down over here. See these shades?
Oh, yeah. So you can get the sunblock when the trees aren't blocking.
Yeah, and you can pull these shades down too. I got little plants and potted things all over the place. And I finally got my chairs out by the fire pit painted.
Those are nice. Where'd you get those?
Dad got them, finally got them put together. I bought them in like kits, and he got them put together, and I sprayed them.
And this is the
And
stove you had from Olathe.
Our real cook stove, and all our shelves with the pot stuff. And this is my trigger, which works really good. And this is the one we need to
Figure out. All right.
And I had Bo put this up so we don't see the pump. And I got the idea from Tom, because he made a fence like that.
Just out of pallets.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. I wonder if Robin would go for that idea.
I don't know.
A
but
pallet fence.
You can
I
paint
bet that's
them.
cheap,
Well, what Bo did was
as long as you can find the pallets.
put these posts up and then wire it. See, you wired it.
Mm-hmm.
When I ordered something, I don't remember it was from Bollinger and Queen. Whoever it was, I said, do you have any pallets I could buy? And they said, yeah, we have pallets. And I said, well, I need 2. How much would you charge? Oh, we'll just give them to you. So they did.
Now this has a zoom on it, I think. Let me see. 1 by.
Tom has his going this way, I think.
So this has a zoom on it.
You need to take a picture of his.
Oh,
It
that's
looks
cool.
Looks really good.
Well, this has got a good zoom. That's kind of neat. Whee!
Anyhow, I had Bo fill up the pit because it was too deep. This way you can build a nice bonfire in it without it being way down in the ground.
Right.
And I got all these plants, and he just did this irrigation. See, we got it here. The pipe runs here, here, and then under the ground, all the way down another 250, 300 feet, so we can run 3 sprinklers out in the field.
Cool.
But that looks kind of neat, and
This looks really nice.
I bought these from
nice here.
Walmart, the cushions,
Right.
and they kind of blend with the other colors. They didn't have anything plain.
Your dog's making a mess.
And when Bo did this, I said, try to save my plants. So he dug the ditch and went around. See my little lily things down there? He went around them somehow. And we gotta walk down here.
Oh, let me grab my beer.
I weeded, because we have this stuff here, and I don't know what it is, but it's not supposed to be here. It's some kind of a weed. So I got this far today. So I need to get down here and get them. Anyhow, he saved these little things, and he put the pipe here to there to keep this from getting, see this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these aren't too bad. These are newer. Let's see, we got an elm tree in here. But see this? This is called mildew, that white looking stuff.
Right.
And we have to kill it or it'll kill the rose bush. This is a rose bush that, according to my neighbor, was originally made, or whatever they do with roses,
Engineered.
in 1836.
Crossbred.
Yeah,
Whatever they call.
1836. And so she said, do you want to save this? So she brought stuff and we put it around, and it did at least bloom this year. But it was getting too much moisture from the ditch. So I had my guy put a thing down here, and I'll just water it by hand.
Hi, Mikey. Mikey. Hey. Hey, Mikey. Hi.
What are you doing, Mike?
Oh, you don't like that.
You're gonna
Are
be
you growling at it? You don't like that.
Oh, what are you trying to do? Drink water? There's no water in there. Nothing's in there. Hey, get out of there.
Okay, this is actually pretty cool for a camera. Check it out.
Well, I know her camera took great pictures. We went on a trip, and she took pictures of moving lizards. It was a little lizard, and she took pictures of it.
But you're equating film to video, and they're completely different medias. But right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,